Hey everyone, this is Puff. Puff's an older boy. He's been coming to me for, I think, 13 years now. But he's one of my only full-coated dogs. I only have a handful of them. He comes in every 2 weeks. So we've known each other a long time. He's used to all this. But I wanted to show you how to brush out a long-coated dog like this. Like I said, he comes in every 2 weeks, so he stays in pretty good shape, but he still gets mats and this long hair. I bathed him in a good aloe shampoo and put some conditioner on him to make his hair silkier and shinier. But he does have skin conditions. He has, I don't know if you can see that. He's got scabs and sores and stuff like that we've just never been able to get rid of. He's been on shampoos, medicine. He wears a special collar for skin conditions now, but that's always just been a thing with him. Different foods, all that. We've tried everything over the years, but he still has a little problem. But this is how I start out. Before I put the noose on him, I'm going to brush around his neck because he tends to get mats. You can see these little tangles, not necessarily mats, but he plays, he rolls around, he gets a little nasty. This is my dematting tool. It's got serrated edges on there, kind of like a comb. But what you want to do is go in when you hit a snag, you pull out with a little pressure, and it gently lifts those tangles out. So I try to do this all over him. And that way, you're not just tugging at a mat, it's actually making progress. But I want to do this before I put the loop on him and around his face. Faces are always gross. I don't have a preview on my phone of what we can see in this video, so hopefully my angles are right. Yeah, but once you stop feeling the pressure of the mats with this dematting tool, then you know that your hair's thinned out enough to get a slicker brush through. He gets his little legs, they're curly. When I dry him, he likes to lay on his belly, so I don't get a really good blowout of his legs, so they stay a little curly. But that's okay. We're not forcing anybody. Get these little mats. His armpit, that's where he gets some skin issues. Under his belly. But I use this tool all the time. In ears especially. Ears that get matted up. The client loves the ears. I don't want to cut them off, so I try my best to demat what I can. You got a dirty face. Guy. And same thing over here. Got some old man wart. Just gotta loosen all this stuff up. Excuse me. Last time he came in, a couple weeks ago, he was a real mess. because he'd been boarding for a while his owner was in the hospital, and he didn't get his regular grooming. Hey, buddy, you gotta stand up. Oh no. So he was overdue for grooming with me the last time I saw him. They're stinky, tangly. Alright, so I got all that stuff around his head and face loosened up. They're going with my slicker brush. My trusty slicker brush. Don't leave home without it. I use this brush almost exclusively. Gets the job done. About every other week for 13 years, I've seen this dog many times. He is a regular. He knows the drill. This is his home away from home. All the kennel staff love him. Alright, now we can put this on. I don't want you tumbling off the table, buddy. So that's good. Let's get this leg over here. Now I'm just going to loosen up the rest of him like I did around his neck with this dematter. See, it's picking up all this hair. Those were all those tangles that I couldn't get out, or that I didn't want to get out by cutting or brushing with a regular brush. I don't know if y'all can hear that coon dog in there, but he's got something to say. He's on my list today. He freaks out about his toenails. All of this stuff back here gets kind of ratty. And you just want to pull through until you have no resistance. And then you know you got all those tangles out, hopefully. I've always wondered how his coat would be if he didn't have this underlying skin condition, which causes all these nasty things. Good boy, Puff. He wears a harness. I don't know how long he wears it, if he takes it off at home, but he certainly wears a harness. So all of this harness area, the tops of the legs and the chest and the middle of the back, around the neck, it's usually the most densely matted or tangled areas. You've got a long-haired dog, take your harness off. Good boy, Puff. And all the little mats that are in sensitive areas like his belly, sanitary area around his butt, I'm just gonna shave those off. There is no reason to keep that hair there, and the shorter it is, the better it feels, and the better chance it will that it'll heal up, or at least not get worse. Unfortunately though, this tool, it breaks the hair, obviously. So when you do that, you're creating an environment for that hair with its broken ends to tangle up with the hairs around it. So it's just like a never-ending cycle. You break that hair and it attaches to another hair with its split ends. And then you got another tangle. Oh. So, where's my slicker? I know I had it. There it is. Now that I've broken all that up, you can tell I mean, that's just from brushing, just from breaking up those mats. I'm gonna go in here and smooth it all out. And get all that dead skin in there that's sloughing off of him. And you can feel through the brush where the tangles are. And you're just looking for it to go through smooth. Maybe a little comb. Getting the nooks and crannies. What you got there, buddy? What is this? What you got that in there? Oh boy. It's still got some leftover tangles in there. That's all you want to go through with this slicker. Oh boy, I know. It's sensitive. He's a good boy. See on the table all this skin that's coming off. this gross stuff. But he did good. I see your belly. I see your belly, old buddy. Hi, man. I don't know if my angles are right on this camera, but hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing. Cutting these little areas of his legs and his tummy where he's having that skin problem. Knees to the navel. And you want to cut it, but you don't want to irritate his skin. Not a lot of pressure there. Around his butt where he licks. Go out from the butthole. He doesn't get the dingleberries. The reason this is matted is it gets this skin condition and then it itches and he licks at it. And he glues all the hair together with his saliva and the skin that's coming off. Skin is tough. I've been trying I got a new puppy, a little Aussie mix, Australian Shepherd mix. And she has had skin problems her whole life. And it's very indicative of a food allergy. So we've been trying different dog formulas, proteins, elimination diet to try and figure out what it was. I was hoping it was just a seasonal allergy and she was allergic to some kind of tree that's blooming around here during the fall, late summer and fall. But it persists. And I don't want her to just be an itchy dog for her life. That's no fair. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do to fix it. And this guy, we've been doing that for over a decade. Huh. Alright. Check this out. He's coming so long. You wanna give me your foot? You're not gonna do it this time? He usually lifts his foot, gives me his foot. Aw. Camera shy? Get these pads. Of course he's got issues with licking his pads. See that 30 blade. Nice and smooth. Yeah, you probably don't know why I'm talking throughout all this. I'm usually quiet listening to my podcasts. And I can't quite listen to something and talk at the same time. Maybe it's weirding him out. I hope these angles are right. You need like a laser scope. It shoots up the front of this GoPro so I know exactly what it's filming. Hey buddy. Alright, I'm gonna turn around his little feet. Got my curved shears. I need new ones of these. in time. I think somebody here used them while I was not around, and now I've got a dull spot, a blind spot right in the middle of them. But as I've said in other videos, I'll use anything until it gives out on me. I just try to keep anything that's dragging the floor off it while still making it look pretty. Good boy, Puff. Yeah, his body hasn't quite reached the floor yet. Always scissor with the lay of the hair. This dog's mom loves him so much. She was in the hospital, like I mentioned a couple weeks ago. She was in there for I guess a couple weeks. But we had some folks go in and check on her. She had her phone up with a picture of him just sitting on its little kickstand, like a little picture sitting on her table next to her. She loves him. He's a good kid. Good boy, Puff. I'm gonna cut that little mat tangle out. The hair above it will cover it, so it won't look bad. I don't like pulling mats out of between toes. I usually just cut them out. It doesn't look good on some dogs, especially if it's a shave down, but I'm not gonna sit there and tug at a mat between a dog's toes. I just want the dogs to be happy and comfortable. That's secondary to looking good, in my opinion. Alright, big boy. Let's get your head and then we're done. Now she doesn't keep him in a bow or rubber bands, ponytails, any of that stuff. She's not into that. So I brush all this stuff forward on the top of his head, and we give him a little bowl cut. Ah. Just do that. Cut around his eyes, little visor. He had some eye issues while he was boarding, but luckily those cleared up. I'm starting to get worried. Sometimes you'll see these skin issues with chronic eye issues, and ear infections, and it's no fun. But it's cleared up. Really just needed a good soak. Huh. That's good. So it stays back. I get under his eyes. This hair grows so fast. I use my shears to push it up under the eye so it stands out. See if he's got anything going in his mouth too much. That's not too bad. This long hair will go in their mouths and they'll chew on it and get it stuck in their mouths, and it rots their teeth away. And I gotta do the bridge of his nose with my tiny thinners. These are for little small jobs. I don't use any sprays on him. I don't use any cologne or anything like that. Just in case it adds to any kind of irritation on his skin. But he comes in every 2 weeks, so he doesn't really have a chance to get too stinky between baths. And that's it. We're done, bud. Wait, hold on. Are we done?